everybody, it's your girl, Pajama, with Pajama Life. And today, it's a Disney Plus day with The Little Mermaid and the fourth episode of Ahsoka, Fallen Jedi. Those of you in the know what that means. And so here I'm with my two buds right here under the sea with my best bud, David. Say hey to the people.
Hey, everybody. Great to be with you tonight. Looking forward to talking about two programs. And the question is, did one or more literally or metaphorically jump the shark? We'll be talking about that tonight.
Oh, okay. And my other best bud, the professor of all things Marvel, and Tokid. Say hi to the people, Patrick.
Hey, everybody, got some good stuff to talk about tonight.
We sure do. And let's start off with Halle Bailey in The Little Mermaid, Under the Sea. Okay, this guy's the worst ship captain.
You broke the rules. You went to the above world.
A man was drowning. I had to save him.
This obsession with humans has to stop.
I just want to know more about them.
You can't live in that world unless you become a human yourself.
Is that even possible?
It's what I do.
Something about you seems different. I can't quite figure it out.
She got legs!
I want to go first. I loved it. It was very cute and very sweet. And it had new music along with the traditional songs from The Little Mermaid. And so it's a nice blend to me of old and new. And I love Melissa McCarthy as Ursula, the Sea Witch. I thought that was perfect casting. And she did a great job. And I loved Halle Bailey as the Little Mermaid. She was very sweet. And her voice is just angelic. I mean, they really picked the right one. And I thought it was an interesting twist, a very diverse cast, and kind of an update of, and I love the Aquafina as Scuttle. He was very funny and very cute. The only two I didn't care for the prince. I didn't think he was a great singer, and his acting was just okay. And I don't know how I felt about David. Is it David? As Sebastian. I mean, the original Sebastian just had such a rich voice, just so beautiful, and such a deep tone to it. It really, and his singing was so powerful. So that's the only kind of criticism I have. I did like the story, and I did enjoy this a lot. Everybody in the family can watch it. It did have some little tense moments, and I was kind of like, oh. Even though I know the story, it still kind of had me kind of like, what's going to happen? So, and so, but you will, I think the whole family can enjoy the updated live action version of The Little Mermaid. David, what did you think?
Well, I agree with you on so many points. I was not familiar with Halle Bailey before her performance. An amazing voice. Just does a wonderful job in this. Melissa McCarthy, a brilliant comedian, bringing a lot of that just over the top, but I thought perfectly done villainess.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things I liked about this. At the same time, there was a part of me that as I'm watching this, which was a wonderful animated show, come to this live action, is it necessary? Was there a need to redo this story? And that's where I kind of left myself, well, it was really good, but you wind up spending a lot of time comparing and contrasting the two. So I think that was an issue with it. But a wonderful Little Mermaid. The one of the least realistic things in the CGI was the shark. Everything else at the beginning, he was like a
I
freaking
forgot about the
shark.
shark. I was like, I know it did kind of make me scared a little bit. I was like,
I jumped a little bit, but it's like that's the weakest looking shark. I mean, I'm watching Meg 2, and that looks more realistic. But this is a lot of good in this. It's a great film for families. I do question whether or not it's necessary or not, but I hope we see more of Hallie in films as we go forward.
I
A
mean, were there
really
any of
wonderful
these
actor.
live action ones really necessary? I mean, Beauty and the Beast and
Well, yeah. Well,
some
I
of the
would.
other ones. I'm
Well,
like,
yeah, they're
why
necessary.
not?
Disney needs more money. Duh.
I mean,
Well, and I'm not a big fan of those. This was a high water mark compared to those.
yeah.
But I would like to see some new take on this. And what about Javier Bardem, the man who was the villain in what No Country for
No
Old
Country,
Men?
yes.
Yeah.
He's in Lyle
And
Lyle the
James Bond,
Crocodile.
he was
He's in
in
this.
Skyfall, the villain. Yeah.
He's been a great villain, and now he's like, does he have kids or grandkids? And he's trying to cuddle up to them. I don't understand.
They can't watch some other movies, so yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So anyway, but it was interesting.
I would take it if I was him too. This is a great role for him, and to see him
King of the Sea, Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, Pat, what did you think?
Yeah, I liked it. I had some issues with just the fact that they cut me and my daughter's favorite song out of it.
Which
Les
one?
Poissons. They didn't do the whole French chef slicing the fish up and stuff, and that that was the best part of the animated part. And like Dave says, you can't help but comparison and contrast it, especially if you had children that were growing up in that period, like as I did, and it was on a loop at my house, so we saw it a lot. And that was one of those songs we just all sing along with. It was hilarious, it was just it was over the top ridiculous. I agree with a lot of the points you guys have both made about how Melissa McCarthy was perfectly cast as Ursula. I thought all the other casting was pretty good. I didn't have any problems with any of it. I know there's some controversy about it, by the weirdos in the world. Yes, they're still out there.
Yeah, that was lame.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I thought it was all fine, and so that it was well done. It looked good. Like I said, I had some
absolutely gorgeous.
I had some issues, like I said, with them editing, some of the and I don't know if they took that song out because maybe they thought it'd be too violent to show how fish is really prepared, because kind of some of that was.
I was kind of glad they took that out.
You were wrong then, okay?
No,
you were just totally wrong. It was the best song in the whole thing. The rest of it was good. I mean, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was unnecessary, as Dave said, and we did not need to make another one other than some. And I get what Disney's doing, and from strictly capitalistic point, yes, they want to introduce this and make this a new thing for people that didn't see the original 30 years ago or 20, 25 or whatever it was.
Which is most kids.
Really, so now we need to get a new generation singing these songs, buying these toys, streaming it off of our platform. I get it, but it felt unnecessary. It was a good movie, and I didn't dislike it in any way, shape, or form. The only thing, my one criticism, they took my favorite song out of it.
Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah, and my one criticism was Prince Eric. I was like, who is this guy? They could have had somebody way more charismatic and he was more oomph.
He was a Ken in the first movie too. All he did was he was a supporting character to Ariel's story, and this is he was not supposed to stand out. He was supposed to be a couch.
I would have wanted him to stand out. But good family movie. Everyone, I think one of the most beautiful scenes was when at the end, all the mermaids, you got to see all the mer people. And that was really, I mean, just visually, that was really beautiful to see. Now I'm waiting for the Little Mermaid to see some of them fine ass mermaids. That's what I want to see. But definitely check out The Little Mermaid on Disney Plus. Okay, now let's check it out. I'm not going to reveal any spoilers, and I hope no one else does. But this fourth episode is Fallen Jedi. Let's take a look.
Pretty bad shape. Better set us down.
More. Finally, some progress.
Prioritize the transmitter above everything else. I need you to contact General Syndulla as soon as you can.
May I make one request of you both? Stay together. You always did better that way, in my opinion.
For the jump we're attempting, if your calculations are off by even a little, we will be lost to the depths of the void. Anakin spoke highly of you.
He never mentioned you.
You have no power.
Your legacy, like your master's, is one of death and destruction.
Ah, it's so good. But let's turn to our resident Star Wars expert, David. What did you think?
So many exciting things with this story. The most interesting parts of the Ahsoka have been the villains, which we have not seen enough of. Just getting glimpses of them and a little bit of dialogue. This episode brought us far more dialogue than we'd really had from Valen. A lot going on here.
Stevenson.
This is so good in so many ways. But my issue with Ahsoka, which is the 5th season of Rebels, was where I felt like Rebels, to a lesser extent Clone Wars, kind of jumped the shark with this astral plane, Doctor Who, time warp little world off to the side that just doesn't seem like the appropriate canon for the story. These portals and going back and
Space whales.
I can deal with more with Save the Whales than I can the scenery. You're talking about spoilers, so I don't want to. There's a reunion at the end of the episode 4. If you're going to watch us, you've already watched this show, but I'll save the spoiler just in case.
Go ahead then.
You know, look, all right. I'm glad to see Anakin. I'm glad the guy's getting another check, but that was one piece. This is the jump the shark that I hated that aspect of Rebels. I hate that we're bringing this into Ahsoka, this little plane there. I can deal with Force Ghosts. I can't deal with this part of it. It's a negative for me, but it's a great show. I'm glad the other villain said, "You have no power." Thank you. Just in case anybody wondered, Sabine never was a Jedi. She just had the sword. But it's a lot of fun to watch on a Tuesday night. I wish it was opening at like Wednesday at like 3 a.m. Eastern time because I like to watch it before I go to work. I hate to wait all day Tuesday. I watch it before I start my job on Wednesday as opposed to wait all day Tuesday for the anticipation. But that's my 2 cents.
Go ahead, Pat.
Well, okay. Let's talk about what you just talked about, the Force Ghosts. Where do you think the Force Ghosts go when they're just not, showing up on Dagobah saying "Good job, Luke"? I mean, they got.
Was it a Force Ghost or was it just a dream because she's passed out?
If you, okay, this is a Rebels thing that me and Dave have seen where it's actually it's like where a plane of existence when you die and you're so inhabited by the midichlorians, I guess.
Not midichlorians.
Well, they don't say that, but I'm just saying, because you got a lot of force, and that was it's canon. where that's what supposedly gives you the Force. Yeah, and I want to say something about the Sabine thing too, where you talked about the you have no power thing. There's a lot of people that, remember when Luke was starting, he didn't know much about it, and he got zapped by the thing 2 or 3 times. Nobody starts out just, being Rod Carew and tattooing those baseballs outside the park. You got to start out, in Little League a little bit. Maybe I suspect that you will see her develop or her figure out how to get in touch with whatever Force ability she has by the end of this series.
Yeah, I agree too. But
you're going to see it. Ahsoka's going to lead her to it. She's going to figure out the way to get to her, whether it's a combination of her working with weapons, because that's leans into her strengths as a Mandalorian. There's a lot of things going on there, and it was interesting to see what happened to Martok, which we didn't talk much about, which is also another Rebels kind of clue. With the puff of green smoke comes out of him when he gets sliced across the chest, which is part of the whole.
Gone then? Is he dead?
Oh yeah.
Is he?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He's out of there.
So now that destroys all the Ezra Bridger theories that
It does.
So which is good, because I didn't want to see Ezra be a Sith. So
we don't know that yet.
But as you said, Ray, what was
Stevenson.
Ray Stevenson, he steals every scene he's in.
Yeah.
I mean, he has such a presence. Excuse me, he has such a presence, and I mean, he just really. I mean, his understatement, the way he does things, you can see how he could be a fallen Jedi. In the fact that he's still kind of trying to, rein back the more murderous impulses of Elspeth. Saying, "Ooh, do we really need to kill them?" That kind of thing. Oh, she's like, "Yeah, we got to kill him." He's like, "Okay, you're the boss," but he's like trying to still kind of rein in. You can see the conflict perhaps in, and I'm wondering if we're heading towards a Darth Vader turn maybe towards the end of this. Who knows? I mean, we're only halfway through. We're halfway through now. It's 8 episodes. That was episode 4. We got 4 more to develop this whole thing going forward. And I would also advise any of you guys who are out there watching, and you too, Pam, specifically, finish Rebels. Keep going with it. It'll make the watching that much more pleasurable, because you'll understand some of these things that they are not doing really good about explaining. You were correct. Well, they don't have Galadriel at the beginning of every episode explaining how everything got to this point, like they did in Lord of the Rings or whatever. You had those in the movies. They had Galadriel talking about all this stuff that Tolkien nerds like me knew, but I understood that people that hadn't read Tolkien needed this, Cliff's Note version of what happened so they could get into the story and figure out where they're going. They didn't do this, and that may have been a mistake, perhaps. But at the same time, they know that the source material's out there. Just watch it. I would tell everybody to watch it, and it's really good. And don't you be talking bad about Doctor Who, because Doctor Who's amazing, and it's coming out this fall. I can't wait to watch it. I'm hoping we get to talk about it. Everybody who's out there watching this, make sure you send messages to Pam suggesting that we watch it, because she does not want to do this. So everybody, let's do this. Your turn, Pam.
Doctor Who. Yeah, this episode finally kicked it into gear for me, and not for the reveal at the end, but I felt like there was a lot of good dialogue in this that kind of helped me understand the story a little more. I'm not liking Sabine that much right now. I'm kind of like, you're an idiot. What are you doing? And I thought that Ray Stevenson is completely amazing. I'm sad that he won't be in the 2nd season, and he's just I wonder if they finish off his character in some kind of way. But I mean, it's just like, oh no, that he brought so much to it. And his just in terms of, there has to be these people out there who kind of, like he said, lost his faith in the Jedi. But I'm wondering if he's has seen something about the future that he needs to do that may not be all bad. I don't know. I just think it's very interesting what they've done with his character, which they haven't really done with Ahsoka's character yet. I'm kind of waiting on her to kind of like give me some life. I enjoy your character, but I'm still think there's a lot more to tell. And I think that the story is such a rich story with Ray Stevenson. And I'm really looking forward to how they do the last act. What's that? What are these last set of episodes gonna look like? And it'll be very interesting. So it's definitely a great episode, and we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it more than I have been. So I'm on board. I don't know if I can get through. How many seasons of Rebels was it? 7?
4. There are 4 seasons.
It's only 4
seasons.
Only 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Only? That's a lot. That's a lot. So definitely check out Ahsoka. We had a really good balance of shows today, and all family oriented. So next week we're going to take a look at the 5th episode of Ahsoka and the new sci-fi movie with Ben Affleck, Hypnotic. So definitely come back and check us out. David, got any final words?
Just wish everyone to have a great week and to keep watching, and we'll keep coming back to talk about these fun shows.
All right. Patrick, you got any final words for the peoples?
Everybody just keep watching TV and keep watching all these great shows until they start saying that they want us to not watch them anymore, the Screen Actor Guild and the Writers Guild, because I ain't crossing that picket line.
Yeah, so definitely come back, check us out. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.